No, I'm not going to read this. Hey, everybody. This is the hottest commodity in pro wrestling, the manager's manager, the maker of mayhem, the bringer of boom, the wager of war, the instigator of illuminating truth, and as of recently, the collector of champions. And you're watching a hashtag truth with Scott Larson. Now, get out of here.
Watch it all fall down around you now. Was it ever really worth it? Having your kingdom crumble to the ground because you never had the courage.
Take the
Charlotte, North Carolina, September 19th. Future Titans of Wrestling have invited me to come there to show you what a supreme Syrian athlete looks like. The Jihad King, the Syrian Sheikh, the Desert Sultan himself, Akbar Bashar. And I will be in a match with a guy named Thomas Grimm. This guy, we have history. But don't make no mistake, Thomas Grimm. Friendships go out the window because I have been informed this would be a match to crown the first ever Future Titans of Wrestling North American champion. And who better to represent your American piece of garbage than the supreme athlete himself, the Sheik. I am what all your men aspire to be. Every one of you want to be just like me. I am your role model. I am your guide, and I will be your next North American heavyweight champion. So Thomas Grimm, you better forfeit now. Save your luck for later, because you're going to lose. Yahom Jadid Musharik. Allahu Akbar Wasnerhu Wasi. I will see you, Thomas Grimm, and you will be destroyed. No doubt about this. Kachal Maisu. Moshaki Mala.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hashtag Truth. We have tonight the one, the only, Irvin Legend. Uh-oh.
what up?
There he is. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Just doing my thing as usual.
I heard that, man. The last time I spoke to you, and I love that interview, by the way. I still go back and watch it every once in a while. And what I love about it is you're in that area. You were wrestling. I don't know if you still are. You probably still are. But are you still wrestling in the Las Vegas area?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. You're kind of going in and out. There you go.
Yeah, I'm still in Vegas. Las Vegas King ain't going nowhere.
Right. I love that. I love that. So, you know, if any promoter's doing it worth his weight in gold, you should have good crowds every time you walk out in Vegas. I mean, Vegas is a tourist attraction. You know what I'm saying?
Vegas is the shit when it comes to anything entertainment. That's why I got a bum ass Virginia. Ain't shit special about Virginia.
I heard that.
We got quite possibly the worst music lineup in the history of music lineup for Virginians. We got Chris Brown. Who else we got? Pharrell Williams. They all go.
You said they're all good with the music, right?
They all just their music. They need to retire because they ain't that good.
Right.
They need to just like make something.
Speaking of music, I got to ask you about something because I tried to download the video off of YouTube and I couldn't quite get it done before the show because I didn't see it until like 3 minutes before showtime. But there's an intro video on YouTube. Tell me about that intro video, man. I think it was done maybe a year or two ago. Man, it looked like it was maybe a year or two ago. But tell me about that was a tight intro video, man. Tell me about that.
The making money?
Yeah.
I want people to feel my theme song. So me and a couple of my boo things did a little bit of media work. And I keep trying to tell these promotions, you know, I'd like for them to have Titantrons when they book me. I can put that on the overhead. I mean, the whatever they got, and they just like, we don't have no
Right.
Titantrons. I'm saving it for that special occasion, for that promotion. It does have some sort of graphic.
Right, without a doubt. I mean, I watched that and I was just sitting back going, man, that is something you come out to. That is something you walk to the ring to, is that right there. I was like, that will get somebody's attention. I mean, I was all over that.
Like my theme song, one in a million, man. It's made for me. The guy who made it is. Do you remember? I don't know if you're familiar with a lot of rap, but do you remember?
I'm not going to say I know a lot. I know a little.
Have you ever heard of Cassidy?
I don't think so, but I'm going to look him up now that you said that.
His cousin did my theme.
Okay. See, I knew it was written for you because I listened to it long enough to hear your name pop out of it. And I went, oh, it's got his name in it. That song was either written for him or he wrote it. I said, man, I was like, again, that was another thing that got my attention. And it was the production was well done too, man. I mean, that, like I said, that is something to come out to, man, to be proud of. That's some good production.
You know what's crazy about that theme is I'm the one who made the beat.
Really?
I made it from scratch, and then I had somebody record.
So let's go into that. Let's go into outside of wrestling for a minute, because we're gonna get back to wrestling. We always do. But so now you're telling me you make beats. So you're some kind of a DJ now, right?
No. I used to do underground rap. I used to make my own beats. I'm thinking about getting back into music. I've been just fucking around with some beats and see what I can produce. And I'm gonna start recording and get my music career lit off. I put a post on Facebook. People think I'm retiring from wrestling. I'm just expanding my brand. Wrestling's not taking a back seat. I'm just taking a little bit of a break because there still is a lot of bullshit in wrestling.
Oh, man, we can talk about that all night, bro. We can talk about that. We just talked about something before the show when I said, we got wrestlers out there saying that, they've been in the business a couple of years and talking about they paid their dues. What? That's some crazy stuff, man.
I don't like burying people online.
Right.
This is going to be a rare thing, but I'm going to do it right now. There's a promotion in West Virginia called NCW by Joe Rogers.
Okay.
He told me in April that I was going to be booked for July 31st in Folliesby, West Virginia. And then my room booked for me. He had a spot for me. He had a paid gig a week before the show. So mid-July.
Okay.
I text him, hey, man, you got Connor from the Ascension and all these guys booked, Zack Ryder, but you're not telling me who I'm working. Who am I working so I can cut a promo so I can push this shit? This motherfucker tells me, hey, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I've overbooked the show. Some people ain't getting paid, and I don't have a spot for you and you're not getting no money. All right. So he fucks me out of a book and fucks me out of money. Did not pay my cancellation fee as I asked. So he fucked me in all angles. So now I'm like, shit, how am I going to get booked on the 31st? BCW hits me up, my home promotion. I get booked the same day. The same day I lose a booking, I gain a booking.
Right.
And I have not went on social media and publicly buried him because that's not my style. But I want to warn anybody that plans on working for Joe Rogers, you need to be smart. Don't let him punk you because he got me. And I've already told my people. So I don't know if he's going to be booking shows anytime soon anymore.
Well, we had a promoter here in our area here in Charlotte, right? The show was in Charlotte, and he booked a for independent wrestling in our area. He booked some high-end independent wrestlers, and they all showed up to the show. He called in a couple hours before showtime and said that he had to take his girlfriend to the hospital, that he couldn't pay anybody, that he wanted them to do the show and he'll catch up with them later. 30 wrestlers sitting there waiting on this guy to show up to pay him. Now, there was like 4 or 5 that got paid before they even made it to the show. And another wrestler that was there who was a promoter also at one time took the reins, went to his bank account, pulled all the money out that these wrestlers were promised, paid these wrestlers, and that guy was like, oh, and the other promoter that didn't pay was like, oh, yeah, I'll catch up to you. I'll catch up to you. Hasn't seen a nickel since, man. So I came on here. I'm hashtag truth, man. I came on here. I blasted that dude's name all over the airwaves, man. That is something you don't do in professional wrestling, bro. Book a whole show, and then 2 hours before it, you just don't show up and you tell everybody they ain't getting paid. Crazy stuff. This was in Charlotte.
Of course.
Charlotte, North Carolina. The promotion was
the guy who did that.
I can't remember his name, but I remember the name of the promotion. The promotion was FZW.
So FCW and Dr. Snicklepuss doesn't want to pay up, huh?
Yeah. He even booked Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express and his son Kerry Morton.
Of course.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah. And the other guy had to pay. The other guy paid him because he, you don't stiff somebody like Ricky Morton, bro. You just don't. You don't stiff anybody, but if Ricky Morton shows up, he's a legend, bro. No way. How do you do that and wake up in the morning?
I was thinking about this 15-month break we had, and I was hoping that promoters would tighten up, but it seems like nothing's fucking changed.
No, that is the hashtag truth right there. If anything, it's gotten worse.
I don't get it.
I'm not slamming anybody. I'm just saying that, you would figure after, the COVID and all this stuff slowing down and everything that, some of these promoters, I'm pretty sure all these promoters didn't lose their jobs and weren't sitting at home the whole time. They could have put some bank up and ran some really good shows, had some really good talent there. But I haven't seen, and I'm not saying there's not good shows in my area. Don't get me wrong. There are fantastic shows in my area, but they could be better. You know what I'm saying? They always could be better.
I'm going to go ahead and say every promoter needs to hear this. If you don't have the fucking money to run a show and pay your talent, don't fucking run a show.
Right.
Don't call yourself a professional wrestler if you wrestle for free. It don't matter what the amount is, you gotta make some sort of money. So the only thing that I can say you wrestle for free is if it's like a charity event, if it's go to like benefits for like cancer or something.
Right.
But even then, you should be able to bring something. You're a professional, fucking get paid like one.
Right. And depending on how far you're coming, even a charity event, if you're coming from 100 miles away, it's nothing for a promoter to give them, some gas money or something, even though it is a charity, if they're coming from 100 miles away to come to your charity, the least you could do is throw some gas money at them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you got a bunch of guys coming from inside town, the locals, that's, wrestle for free. That's okay. But, there's, you should never, ever, unless, like you said, there are very few times when you should ever wrestle for free, period. And I hear stories like that all the time on here, man. I know guys right now that have wrestled for 2 or 3 years for a promotion, never got a dime from them. I won't throw names out there, but they know who they are.
At some point, you're gonna have to get with the shit and be like, if I keep wrestling for free, that's what people are gonna look at me as. I'm not gonna make no money. Yeah. There has to be a point in time where you stop letting people take advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? 2 years, 3 years. Even AEW and WWE pay their talent, even if they're not on the contract. Like, if I got a call to do a job, I'm getting paid. So I don't know why these indie feds. It's like the promotions that don't pay their talent bitch about not getting bigger. Well, if you're not paying
how you gonna get bigger if nobody wants to wrestle for you because you ain't paying nobody?
If you don't pay your talent, they're not gonna want to work for you. Right. They're not gonna put you over. You're not gonna sell tickets. You're not gonna make no money. Pretty fucking simple.
Right. Without a doubt, without a
And if you don't have the money,
Akbar said for every good promoter, there are 20 bad promoters. And that's the sad truth.
try like 40 or 50. But like,
Wow.
if you don't have the money to run a show, don't run it. Because we ain't working for free. You feel me? We got families and shit. We got gas.
Right.
No.
Right?
And with the reputation I got, I'm never working for free. You can call 3 people right now and they'll tell you I'm legit. You can call Tyson Kidd. You can call Rollins. Call anybody. They'll tell you.
Right.
I'm not working for free.
Right. And I was going to ask you about that. I saw some of the pictures you were laying out on your Facebook page, photo dropping some names on there. That must be cool, man. That's got to be really cool to be able to walk up to Tyson Kidd and be you're friends with Tyson Kidd and he just, take a picture and everything. That's got to be pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but I kind of earned that because I took a bus at the time when he did his first seminar. I took a train from VA to New Jersey to New York, and I was like 23 hours just to do a seminar with him. That's how we became friends.
Bro, that's big time. That's dedication. That's letting me know you want to be a professional wrestler.
And the thing about that, I didn't eat for 2 days before and after. I only had enough money for my plane ticket. I mean, my bus ticket. I eat for like 72 hours. Tyson was like, and then it was Kurt Hawkins, MJF, all the creative, Pat Buck, Tyson. I was out of state. I wasn't from there, but they're like, hey, we're all going to get some food. You're welcome to join us. And I'm like, nah, I can't because I have no money.
Right.
Tyson texted me like, hey, man, we're going to eat. You come? He's like, nah, bro, I don't have no money. He's like, how'd you get here? I said, I just borrowed enough just for the plane ticket. He's like, you ain't eat? I said, I haven't ate since like the morning I left. And he was like, what the fuck? I could have, helped you. I was like, nah, man, that's your money. You earned. I'm not gonna ask another grown man for no money. I'll find my own way. Right. So I took the train back, and as soon as I got home, I had like peanut butter and jelly. So, but after that, like he just texted me. He's like, hey man, I'm being VA. And then I worked out with Chad Gable and Tyson and Natty and all them. So that's how that friendship started. And then I saw him last June, and I helped him move into his new house. So I mean, we all did.
Dude, that's dedication, man. I love to hear. That's the stories that I made #true for, is right there for people to tell those stories. Because that to me tells me that you are dedicated to doing what it takes to make your dream come true. You are going to do whatever it takes. And there are kids out there who take for granted this business. They do. I could name 100 people off the top of my head that would have never did what you just said. Would have never did. Well, I ain't got the money to go there to eat, to have a hotel, to be, this and that. They would have never went. They would have just, yep, well, I'll catch you on the next go round. But you doing what you just said, man, that is big. And I'm not trying to, push your ego or whatever, but that is huge for a fan to hear.
I just did what I had to do. I took
the Irvin Legend t-shirt. I ain't gonna lie to you. That makes me want to find out how to get me an Irvin Legend t-shirt.
Working on a little something. I was like, man, but that's my chance to hang out with Tyson. So I made sure I got there. Even if I didn't eat, I had no money. I probably had like $3. I wasn't enough to get shit. I don't regret it. I did what I had to do. I showed people I wanted it. Even MJF was like, what the fuck, man? He came for a seminar. I'm like, yep.
Oh, here's a very good promoter who I know very well from Indianapolis, Gary Emmett. He said, you got my attention. That's dedication. Send me your resume, and I'll look to get you in Indianapolis with AWR. Look at that. Love it. Love it.
I'm going to send you a DM, and I'll send you my stuff.
Yeah, Gary Emmett's a good guy. Gary Emmett's a very good guy. He said another – Go ahead.
I didn't have a place to sleep, so I found a curb in New York, the dirtiest curb in the fucking street. And I slept there, and I slept right behind the facility
on that train trip.
I got off the train. I slept in the streets. I have nowhere to go. I slept behind the facility, in a fucking like dirt, and then I woke up and then trained. That's what I did. What I do.
Man, see, that's and I can understand why you feel the way you do, you know, going through that and like I said, the dedication and all that, you know, and I'm not saying just that one time. I'm pretty sure you did many times of, you know, putting yourself out there, and that's why you have the strength in I'm never working for free. That's bullcrap. I already, you know, not saying that you paid your dues, but I'm saying you've already shown people what you do to be there. And if you got Tyson Kidd as a friend because of that, wow, that's
The
huge.
craziest
Bro.
thing I ever did. This is before I knew Tyson, before I knew Seth Rollins, before I knew Natty, before I knew, you know, anybody. 2015, 6 months in the business. The promotion that trained me, SPW, was charging me $250 a month. I had no job. So what did I do to make $250? I sold all my video games. I sold my favorite pair of shoes, and I donated blood twice a week. And there was times I donated so much blood that I went to training and collapsed. I still ended up doing the drills. So I literally sold my blood to make like $50 to save up. Like, you know, obviously 50 for 50 is 100. So I sold enough blood to pay my tuition. And that's what I had to do for like 3 or 4 months, to the point where I came there 170 pounds. And then 6 months after that, I was like 150. Because
Wow.
I was donating blood twice a week, and it took a lot out of me. But I still graduated. Fuck that shit. I did what I had to do.
Man, I'm telling you, that's wow. I don't think I've had a better gripping story than what you just told me. The whole 270 something episodes I've ever had on this show.
And I was 20, bro. I was 20 years old, Afro. I was just Irvin. I wasn't even Irvin Legend. I forgot I even had an identity. I forgot I was even a rapper. Like, what's my gimmick name gonna be? I'm like, wait a minute. I do Irvin Legend and underground battle rapping. Fuck it. I'm gonna bring it to wrestling. So I didn't have to try, but like, I literally busted my ass, and I remember I got broke in, so I was in 6 matches in one night. And dude,
wow.
I had nothing left. I threw up. I was like, it was crazy. So I've been fucking sacrificing shit since I started. So when people tell me they want it, I'm like, okay, show me.
Right?
Sleep in the car, everybody has to do it. Starving, everybody has to do it. It's part of the fucking cycle. Just put your nuts on and know you're doing this shit for a purpose, and somebody would take, you know, don't do it for admiration. Just know the right people will look and pay attention. And when you least expect it, an opportunity's gonna pop up. When I got an opportunity to befriend Tyson Kidd, I jumped on that shit like water on rice. And now he's one of my best friends.
Right? Man, that's wow. I love that. I love
Even
that.
if I'm gonna say, if I never get signed, at least I know I made a true friend in wrestling. At least I got something out of the business. You know, like with us being small guys, he knows what it's like to sacrifice. That's why we click, we get along so well, man. Because we both been through a lot of shit. I told him at dinner when we had sushi that maybe getting shot and stabbed 6 months apart from another. I still got the bullet still in my leg. So,
I remember the last time we were. I remember the last time we were. I was interviewing you. You was telling me about that.
Mm-hmm.
That is.
Then never take it out. It's always gonna be in my leg because it's resting on an artery, and if they touch it, they could fuck up my leg, or I could be paralyzed.
Wow. So let me go to a quick commercial break. I'm going to come out of that break, and I'm going to ask you about that injury and a few others and your training regimen. Because you've got me interested to know about your training regimen at this point, because with an injury like that and things like that, and I can see just by looking that you're fit. I mean, you're physically fit. There's pictures all up and down your Facebook page. You know, you got 6-pack abs, you got the whole 9 yards. You can tell that you're training. You know what I'm saying? So let me go to this quick commercial because I gotta pay my bills too. I'm gonna come back and we're gonna talk about some of that stuff, man. We are here talking with Irvin Legend on #Truth. We'll be right back after this quick word from L&L Fence Companies.
L&L Fence Company, specializing in custom fencing from wood and aluminum to chain link. 9331 Albemarle Road in Charlotte, North Carolina. Give them a call today for your free estimate. 704-563-9544. L&L Fence Company, the king in custom fencing.
All right, we are back on #Truth, and we are talking with Irvin Legend. Now, the last time Irvin Legend was on #Truth, he was telling me about, the time he got shot and stabbed all, in a short period of time. And tell us the story again, man. I want the people who are watching to hear the story again, because that was one of the most gripping stories I'd ever heard in my life. I ain't gonna lie to you.
All right, so let me start from the beginning because there's a lot of shit now. Okay.
Go ahead. I love the stories, man. Go ahead.
My adopted mom died as I was in high school. Like literally, I was in class in earth science. I get a phone call from the principal saying, "Hey, bring Irvin to the office." I'm thinking I got in trouble because I did tell my earth science teacher to go fuck herself. So I thought that
Oh no.
I would get
Okay.
some trouble. I didn't give a fuck about authority back in the day. I didn't give a shit.
Right.
But they called me down there and they closed the door. When they close the door, that's a bad sign. And I immediately felt my heart drop because I knew the last time I saw my mom, she didn't know who I was because she had Alzheimer's.
Right.
And they were like, "Your mom passed away this morning." And I remember I started hitting shit. I actually hit the principal, but he let it go because it was an emotional type of thing. So I get picked up, dropped the house, and talked to my sister and shit. And I just get very angry because, for one, y'all didn't tell me she died until she was gone. Y'all didn't even let me say goodbye. But I understood why they did that because I was 14, and being 14 and having to see that is probably going to be, fuck you up.
Right.
So I was banging, and I called my homies. My mom died, and they told me, "Come over and come smoke." I'm gonna say some G shit right here. When you gang banging and you a virgin, they gonna beat your ass. So they made me lose my V card at I was 14 and a half. Didn't even know what the fuck I was doing. Didn't know what it was.
Right.
So that's how I kind of coped with my shit. Was I was smoked with them. We did some stuff, and I remember I was having my flag in the alleyway because at the time it was Fagos, Swisher Sweets and Fagos. It was a cool thing to do back in those days. But whole set ran, so I was like, "Damn, somebody stink or something. Why everybody running for it and leave me?" I turned my back. There's 6 Nazi guys with steel-toe boots coming at me. They all looked about to be over 6 feet tall, 300 pounds.
Oh snap!
I thought to myself, I looked at my flag. I said, "Well, fuck it. If I'm going down, I'm going down swinging." So I started swinging. It didn't hurt them because I felt a cold blow behind my knee. And I think they had like a baton or something, so they dropped my ass. And they starfisted me. They held my legs down and they held my arms down, and they stomped me in like 3 or 4 times with boots, like fucked my teeth all up. Next thing I know, I hear hold them down, and one of them pull a small blade out and stab me right here. That only pissed me off. It didn't hurt until I looked at it. And then they held me down again. And then at this time, he pulled out a big ass knife from his sock and he stuck me in the gut and ripped out. And I tried to say something and I couldn't talk because my lungs were filling with blood. And then I saw steam and passed out. I do remember, apparently, according to the paramedic, I died 3 times in the ambulance. But I remember during the time, I was never religious. But then I believed after that because this is what I saw. I felt super warm, and I saw floating. So I saw a flash. One flash, I saw my mom, and I saw gold streaks. And then I saw another flash, and then I saw screaming, fire, worms, and this weird demon-looking elf. So I'm assuming that was a glimpse of hell. That shit was scary as hell. And then I saw another flash, and I looked up at the hospital lights, and I looked down, and my stomach's all open. And I looked at the nurse, and she's like, "You're looking to be alive." I'm like, "What happened?" And you got damn, they tried to kill you. We don't know who did it. But with me, and I was in the hospital for 2 months, but me having the resources I have, I found out who did it. And karma got him. And I was moving on with my life. And then I was in the 7-Eleven getting a Slurpee. I was getting my famous half and half, which if y'all don't know what that is, it's half fruit punch and half pina colada and a slushy. That shit good as a motherfucker. I had to have my green apple straw because that adds the flavor to it. Next thing I know, I'm my own business. See, I like a little sugar now and again. Shit, I got Slurpee today.
About. Okay.
Yeah. So I hear screaming. I'm like, "What are y'all hooting and hollering about?" Dude starts spraying. So I jump on the floor and I hold my leg up but then the bullet went in my leg. and I look down and I see a shit ton of blood, but I put my hand on my calf because I got shot, but why is there no hole? There was a hole, but it had no exit wound because I was feeling for an exit wound in my calf, and it was just you could stick your finger in my leg and it gives a big ass hole. And I tried to get up and I fell and I screamed because I was trying to walk out of there. So I was literally crawling to the back when I collapsed. And then I woke up in the hospital again. They said, you got shot, but you caught the bullet caught your leg. We're going to leave it in your leg because we're afraid if we try and take the fragments out, it's going to damage something. So we're going to have to live with the bullet in the leg for his life. So I go to the airport and go through the metal detector, the metal detector goes off. And I keep trying to explain to him I got lead in my leg. So
wow.
And that's why I walk a little funny because I'll never walk normal because I went right through my femur. And I had to learn how to walk again. It took me about 12 months to learn how to walk straight.
Wow. Damn. I mean, you went through some stuff, man. I mean, I couldn't even imagine putting myself in your position. I can't even sit here and go, man, I know how you there's nothing I can say to that, bro. There's nothing. I'm just in awe.
I mean, I did do it to myself because that's what happens when you gang bang. You got to pay the price. But
right.
It was just fucked up that my homies didn't have my back like I thought they did. And that was a wake-up call because, like, damn, I'm banging for what? So I said, since these motherfuckers don't got my back, I'm gonna look after myself and do me. That's why I chose wrestling because, like, all right, I was loyal to the streets. I was loyal to my set, but they're not loyal to me. So I'm going to do something that I'm done trying to make them happy. Right. I'm done almost risking my life to make them happy to prove something. I got to prove something myself. It's not going to make me happy. And what makes me happy is beating people up. So actually, I was watching Cartoon Network, watching Tom and Jerry, and I was obsessed with that show because I was like, damn, Tom be fucking Jerry up. So I was flicking between Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon because those times you had to pick a side. You either Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. Right. And if people find out you watch both, you're a buster. See, I'm a Cartoon Network type of dude. But, Nickelodeon got SpongeBob, so it's hard to pick. SpongeBob is a G. Don't fuck with SpongeBob. But at the time, I accidentally turned to, I think this was back in like 98, 99, so the Attitude Era.
That was Fairy Godparents time, man. That was my cartoon back in the day, Fairy Godparents.
Yeah, Fairy Godparents. Back in where I was watching wrestling as a kid, the fist wasn't there. There was just the spiral SmackDown stage. So I accidentally turned to that. Like, damn, this is hot. You got people like Rock and Stone Cold. I was like, Mom, I want to be those people on TV. And Mom looked at me like, Irv, I love you, kid, but it's not going to happen. Like, all right, you right. But then people joke me for that all the time, but I used to get my ass kicked. My mom I used to tear her dresses up because I used to take her fabric and try to make wrestling outfits. Like I was fucking on like gimmicks. Like I think I called myself. Honestly, dude, I had the Velveteen Dream before Velveteen Dream was even portrayed by Patrick Clark. It was something similar,
right?
But it was like a mixture of Prince, Michael Jackson, and like Nas.
Yeah. Do you know? You probably know this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Did you know that he hated that gimmick when it first started, and he grew to like it once he started putting his own things into it? He grew to like it. But when they first came to him and said, "Hey, we got this Prince type gimmick," and he looked at them like, "What?" And he's like, well, you can do this gimmick and wrestle, or there's the alternative. All right, I'll do the gimmick. You know what I'm saying?
And then he got it over.
Oh, yeah, he did. Big time.
And it's a shame how his career, hit the shitter.
Right. But it is.
I'm gonna quit. I'm not defending him. I'm not defending the victim. I just feel like
right.
He had a lot of damning evidence against him.
Right.
I just don't think it's fair the way everybody just jumped down his throat. Like,
I don't think it's fair that it went all the information like that went public. To me, that's
they set him up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Without a doubt. Now I've got a couple of questions that went through my head when you were telling your stories, man. Because you said you're a rapper. Now all those stories you tell, all those stories that you told me about, the hard times you had, while growing up and things like that. Is it shown in your rapping?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always talking about gang banging and overcoming shit and moving them forward. That's my whole message. Even in wrestling.
Okay.
Like, I started doing music again. So I'm rapping about my life. This ain't just like putting bars together and rhyming. This is like what I've been through up until now. So every track I make, I try to paint a visual picture.
So you're telling the story like you would in wrestling, but you're doing it with your music.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool, man. I like that. I'm gonna have to hear some of this stuff, man. After seeing that intro video and all that, I gotta hear some of your stuff. I'm really interested to hearing some of your stuff, man.
Let me dig up some of my rap.
And I ain't too proud to pay for it either.
Once I get some,
I ain't too proud to pay for it.
Once I get some shit out, I will have it on like SoundCloud and shit like that. Might put some samples up.
Let me know. Let me know. I'll be one of your first customers. Let me know.
I'm gonna see how far I can take with this music shit. But I feel like you could write a story just on me getting stabbed. But like from my birth mom doing cocaine to me, I was clinically declared dead 3 times in my life. One time when I came out when I was born because of cocaine, all that cocaine use she did shut my brain off.
Wow.
2, I was dead after getting stabbed, and then the 3rd time I was dead because I did a suicide attempt, and I tried to hang myself. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I tried that once. I'm not gonna lie to you. I tried it once. I failed miserably. I didn't know, and it was out of plain stupidity, is what it was. I got so mad, and never get mad about a relationship, folks. I'm just going to say it out loud. I got mad because a girl was going to leave me, and I went, and there was in the bathroom, there was this big bottle of like 500, 800 milligram Tylenol in it. And I swaddled like 3/4 of that bottle. I was throwing up, dude. I was throwing up pink Tylenol. No joke. When I got to the hospital, I was projectile vomiting Tylenol from the bed to the curtain on the other side of the room that they spin around in front of the glass door. I was hitting that curtain in the middle like a basketball shot, like a free throw, bro, with the vomit. And that's nothing to brag about, but I'm just saying that's how much I had taken, and my body was rejecting it. I wasn't going to die. What I did was I messed up my gallbladder because 4 years later they ended up removing my gallbladder.
That's liver. You know why? Because the Tylenol is liver toxic. You took like 5 times the recommended dose. That fries your liver. I'm gonna get extremely personal. A lot of people know about this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I never went public, but my last suicide attempt was actually last summer. And let me tell you what happened. This is like I'd say like 6 months ago.
Wow.
So I was dating a girl. Everybody knows the one thing I want besides being a wrestler is being a dad. I was finally supposed to be a dad with her. I'm not gonna name drop her because I promised my family, her family. But those who know her know her. She's supposed to have. I was supposed to be a dad. She's supposed to have my son. I don't know what she was going through, but she ended up committing suicide. And he committed suicide when carrying my kid. I'm not mad at her. Obviously, she was in so much pain and she didn't know what the fuck was going on. But there's another life in the balance. I was my son. That was my dude. And I just lost myself. I started taking heavy amounts of steroids, heavy amounts of alcohol. I remember I called Marty Elias. I called Phil Brown. I called TJ. I remember I told them I loved them. Even they knew, like, why are you saying you love me? What's going on? I was like, nah, I just want to tell you. And that night, I looked at a picture and I tried to hang myself. That's when my voice was raspy because I permanently damaged my trachea because I suspended just enough, but not. I didn't put enough body weight on the rope. That's why it didn't hold me up. That's why it snapped.
Oh man!
That was a week before.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I thank God for that rope snapping, bro. I do. You got too much. You got too much talent in you, man, to end it like that. I'm just gonna say how I feel. You got too much talent to end it. I understand. I kind of understand because if anything were to happen to one of my kids, I've got 5 kids, and if one of them were to get hurt in any way, I lose it. So I understand, that pain. I haven't lost any of my kids. I can't say that. I can't say I know how that feels. But man, if wow, that is deep.
Another thing, this is going to put you over the hill. The reason why it was so hard for me to accept what happened is because, like, okay, I need to tell you the full story now. So, me and, we were having some issues, having fights. And every time I explain this, I get choked up. But I'm not choked up now because legends don't cry. I'm not going to cry.
Right.
But
That's right. We're going to try not to. Hey, I'm almost in tears too, so I'm going to try not to too. I'll be right there with you. I ain't going to lie to you.
All right, I called her mom. I said, hey,
I thank you for telling this story, bro. I really do, because there's somebody out there that needs to hear this. I believe that.
And I've never went public about this whole story, so I might as well do it now because everybody else knows what I've been through, so I'm not going to hide this shit. And hopefully, maybe this helps somebody. Maybe this shows people that, hey, we're pro wrestlers. We go through real life shit too. It's just how what separates us from normal people is how we hide it.
That's right. It is. And then that is true. And, and I'm going to interrupt you just for a second. There are so many professional wrestlers out there. That's why, Dark Side of the Ring shows are coming out now. People didn't know about that stuff back then. They hid all that stuff from us back then. We didn't know about, all these people doing steroids and doing. Regular people didn't know that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's the entertainment business.
Right. Right.
Like, as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell y'all another thing. This might be really random, but I got a lot of friends that are porn stars. And I actually lost a friend of mine that did porn. Her name was Dakota Scott. Same shit. She was depressed, and she ended up being homeless, and then she ended up overdosing. So, but I'm gonna go back to my story. I got this really bad feeling, like a sinking heart feeling type, and I called her mom. Like, hey, go check on her. She's like, I'm 2 hours away. Can you drive up? So I went to her apartment. The last time I got cold chills like that was when I went to the Benoit house in Georgia. I stepped on the doorstep and did not want to be on that doorstep no more.
Wow.
Every part of my body was cold and I couldn't breathe.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's the same feeling I had. And I never get those feelings. So it really fucking freaked me out. Like, dude, I can't move. Everything got cold. I stepped a foot on the Benoit, that same house that he killed the people in. I visited because I passed by. I was like, hey, let me go visit this house. Bad mistake, bad idea, because I had nightmares the next week. But anyways, that's the same feeling I had when I knocked on the door, because it was this dead air.
Right.
Like, I don't like this vibe. She never leaves the back door unlocked. Right.
Right.
So I came in through the back door, and it smelled really bad. I'm like,
oh no.
Did she not take the garbage out? Garbage was taken out, and I started like crying because like, fuck, hold on. So her door was locked. I broke my own elbow breaking the door off the hinges. So I broke the door off the hinges. And that was a half steel door. That's not a wood door I broke. I broke a straight up fucking door.
Right.
And I started bawling because like the sheets were up. I yanked the sheets up and she was in the bed.
Wow.
But the thing about that, the worst part was like, so she slit her wrist. It wasn't an overdose. She cut her wrist. Right. But I was holding her, and she went from warm to cold. So I don't know when she did it, but it must have been like recent because she was still alive.
Wow.
So she died in my arms.
So you physically felt the life go out of her, is what you're saying?
I did, and she looked at me, and she went from smiling to like cold, and then I just threw up.
Damn.
And I looked down, and I got all her blood on me. And I remember she tried to get the words "I love you," but she couldn't get it because she was gone. And I called the mom, and I almost got shot because the cops, fucking of course, thought I did something. Because like, you got a black man holding a white woman with blood everywhere, you think I fucking did something. But I explained to them, look at me, and look
about that for hours, bro. Seriously, we can talk about that for hours.
I understand. Yeah, I'm like, look at me, look at her wrist, and look what's laying beside her fucking screwdriver. You honestly think, you know what I'm saying? And she's pregnant. So, but they still questioned me. But then it was a suicide. No shit, it was a suicide. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you mean? And then with that, and the speaking out movement, and then this transgender girl pretty much went on Twitter and said shit about me that wasn't true. Said I sexually harassed. You know how they do. The real story was she was one of my good friends from DC, and she was transgender, and I befriended her because clearly I have transgender friends.
Right.
And one day she said she likes me. I'm like, look, I can't do that because I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'll be your friend though. And she got all triggered and thought she labeled me as a homophobe. So like there was a point in time where I couldn't get into my social media and she was hacking me. So what she did was she went on my Twitter. No, she went on my Instagram, sent shit from my page to her page, pretending it was me. Like she said, like, oh, like, let me suck you off and shit. Man, I'm not into that shit. Y'all know that shit. So
wow,
she put that in Twitter and everybody jumped down my throat. I got letters from W saying they're not going to do business with me no more. Like I ended up losing a lot. And then I just lost it. I tried to hang myself. Next thing I know, about 3 or 4 weeks later, she made a video, said she had a mental breakdown, said she fabricated everything. She's actually in some big trouble now.
Well, I'm glad she came clean because that's
it don't matter. She tried to ruin my whole life. I almost killed myself over like multiple things. I was dealing with the death of my fiance. The last thing I want to know to deal with is another. You know what I'm saying? So like, she pretty much said she lied about everything. And then the people that emailed me and said, "How dare you?" Like apologize. Like even people from Dover's like, "We're our mistake." Okay, whatever the fuck. But like, you know, she got in trouble because like that's.
Let me ask you something. With all this pain that you've been through, and we've talked for almost a little over 45 minutes about all the stuff that's happened in your life, and I just got to know this because this to me, and I've never been in any of them situations you talked about, none of them. So I can't I can't say how you feel. So, but do you, going back to wrestling, kind of tying this back to wrestling, do you use any of that as a motivation to be better in wrestling or in life or to succeed? To you look back and see all that pain and you're like, because I could tell by just talking to you that you're no nonsense when it comes to certain things. You're like, don't even go there because you ain't getting nowhere. You know, I can tell by just talking to you. Do you use that as a motivation in other parts of your life, like wrestling and things like that?
Every time I wake up, I think about everything I've been through till now. When it's like, when I'm in the ring, I'm the person I never got to be. So like, before my music hit, I have the flashback of like me banging and everything. I just use it and I go through the curtain. I'm just amped. That's when people look at me.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've watched you wrestle before I interviewed you the last time. I didn't know you at all the first time I ever interviewed you. And I watched you wrestle that Las Vegas match. I can't remember who you were wrestling. It was in Las Vegas. It was a tape show. I mean, it was, you know, a good show. It was done up. And you lost the match, I think, but you were fantastic. And I would have never guessed any of that stuff. None of that would have even crossed my mind by watching you in that ring. You know what I'm saying?
The one with Phil Brown?
Yeah, that was it.
I was actually in Virginia for BCW, and Phil Brown's kind of like an older brother to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was filming. That was actually the same day that show was aired. My mom passed away, so I was emotional as fuck. That's why if you pay attention to the end of the match, when he went over, he crawled over to me and he was talking to me, and I broke kayfabe. But with me being smart, I was on my stomach because I was crying. I was legitimately crying because he told me, like, I wasn't crying until he said, my mom and my fiance would have been proud of me. I lost it, but I had to heal it up. My dude, I'm crying legit. How am I gonna play this off? I told Dan, which is the camera, I said, turn the camera so I can get out the fucking ring. So I was crying, like my eyes were like puffy, and this fan was like, "Oh, you're crying because you lost." I looked at him. I said, "Nah, I'm crying because I have to be in the cesspool known as Norfolk, Virginia." And as a matter of fact, I made enough money tonight to pay for all your HRT bus tickets.
Oh, damn, you turned it right out. I love it, dude.
I did. And I got to the back and I'm like, damn, how the fuck did I do that quick? Like, I'm glad it worked out because I was good. Crying. Yeah, I lost it. Like, dude, that wasn't me last night. I was a different breed of me. Like, I was like, how the fuck? Like, everything clicked in that match. It's like
it did. It did. I watched that. I think that was the first match I ever saw with you. And I was like, I was blown away so much that I asked you to come on hashtag. I was like, dude, I got to get this guy on hashtag. I didn't know any of this other stuff, any of it, until the first time I interviewed you. And it was like, when you started telling me the story about, you know, your gangbanging stuff and getting stabbed and shot and all that, dude, we almost cried the last time we talked about it. You know what I'm saying? On the last interview, if the hashtag truth listeners didn't see that one, go back and watch it. I'm telling you to go back and watch it. It was a good interview, probably one of the best interviews I've ever done. But I want to talk a little bit about your training before we go, because we got about 10 minutes left in the show. I want to talk about your training because I spoke about it earlier in the show, and your stories just kept coming. And I'm not going to stop you from telling stories because I love hearing them.
Oh, I got way more. I got a lot more.
Right. But your training again, it kind of goes back to, does that, everything that happened motivate you? Do you ever like put on headphones, listen to music, think about the things that happened, and just go to pump and iron? And I could just see you doing that.
I put my beats on, where my workhorse fitness sleeveless hoodie, the Tyson Kids brand, or since shout out to Wicked Iron, I'm sponsored by them. They're a bodybuilding company out in Virginia. So I wear that, and I just make sure I get my 100, whatever body part I'm working, I get 100 reps in. So I do 4 sets, 25 reps, and I just pound it out. Mostly I work out pretty much till I throw up. Like I work out till I got nothing left in my body. And then I know I'm done. And when I was a kid, I was small, so I started bodybuilding at 16 because I was sick and tired of getting beat up. So when I'm in the weight room, I think about all the shit I've been through. I think about what I want to accomplish, and I just use that to pump the reps out. And I'm at 207.
If you push yourself like that, I've got to ask this question because that's the way my mind works with this wrestling game. If you push yourself like that every time you go in there till you can't give no more, when's the last time you literally got blown up in the ring?
Like legit blown up?
Like legit blown up. Couldn't breathe, couldn't continue the match. Was out, felt like you were out of shape. When was I'm not talking about going in and giving your all in a match and you're just dog tired at the end. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you're in the match and you're giving it your all, but it just ain't there. The gas tank's empty.
It's never happened.
Wow. See, that's I thought that would be the answer because every picture I've ever seen of you, and it's not like I know you're not the person to go through and if you take pictures like with Tyson Kidd, now you're throwing them all up there. You're not just picking and choosing, going, yeah, that one looks good, that one looks good, that one looks good. You're throwing them all up there. They're your friends. You're proud of it. You throw them up there. But I'm just saying, I've never seen you out of shape in any picture I've ever seen of you, Facebook or anything else. Wrestling, anywhere. You got the six pack. You're tight all over your body, and I'm not saying that like a woman, but I'm just being honest. You can tell you work out, bro.
I've tried to be on a different level, different breed, and this is gonna sound cocky, but when I'm in the ring, I don't gotta keep up with who's in the ring with me. They gotta keep up with me. Now
that's not being cocky. That's being honest.
Yeah.
To me, that's being honest. If you're working that hard, bro, that's being honest because you're setting the pace. You have to be the one setting the pace because I can guarantee you there are tons of men out there who aren't doing that pace. They're not putting themselves to that kind of test.
Mentally, I feel like I'm on an island by myself and I got people trying to invade my shit. So when I'm in the ring, I'm like, this guy got to keep up with me. I don't got to keep up with him. So even like I wake up at 5 a.m, cardio, work, gym. I do my 100 reps. I'm eating from 7 a.m. to midnight.
Right.
I'm always working. Even when I was sick, like when I had a triple hernia, I was still in the gym. The day after the hospital, I was in the gym. Working out.
Now I gotta ask this again, it goes back to all the stuff that happened to you in your life. And I know wrestling like the back of my hand. I mean, I'm not a wrestler, but I've watched it for 30 years. I couldn't tell you the number of indie wrestling shows, talk to everybody, And with all that stuff that's ever happened to you, have you ever had somebody stiff in the ring give you like a punch or something and you just lose it? I mean, you go back to the days of a gang banging. It's like, boom. Oh, shit, you just did not. That's what just crossed my mind. I could see you doing that too, man, and just losing it for a second.
Take the one shot because people don't understand. I'm a 2-time Golden Gloves boxing champion. So if you're going to hit me, you better hit me because if you're not, I'm going to knock you out. There was one time I was working Jake Hollister. He's a cool dude, good dude.
Right.
But he got too excited. So he started stiffing me. I gave him one hook, and I looked at his tights, and he pissed himself. And he literally went limp.
Wow.
I went over to him. I'm like, are you ready to fucking work or what? I'm like, do you want to work or do you want to keep getting fucked up? Because we got 5 minutes and it does not matter to me. I'll fuck you up or we can work.
Wow,
And since your family's in the front row, I suggest you put on a show because I have no problem fucking over from your mom. Don't care.
Wow. What was his expression while you were saying that? What was on his face?
He was like, we'll work. I'm like, oh, fuck it. You had your chance. I put him in a shoot on bar, tapped him out, held on to the hole for 5 minutes and let go. I was like, better luck next time, dude. And his mom looked at me and like was calling me a piece of shit. And I looked at her. I said, your son's a loser. You probably should just swallow him because he ain't going to amount to nothing in life.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. That was good. Wow.
His hot ass sister was in the crowd. I said, hey, since your brother just got your ass kicked, you need another man in your life. How about me and you go to Cheesecake Factory? Because I know you ain't had a real meal in a while. They were pissed.
Oh.
They went to the promoter and bitching and complaining. The promoter, look, if you don't like what he says, don't come to the show. I'm like, all right. Hey Jake, let me know how your arm be. And he texted me like 2 days later. He said my elbow dislocated. I said, you'll be all right. Just ice it up, move on, man. Just learn how to work next time. But don't fucking stiff me. When right. I broke my nose about 7 times from bare knuckle fighting. But getting hit in the face ain't shit to me. So if you're gonna fucking hit me, you might as well lay it in there. But right. he wasn't making contact. He was doing that stupid slap shit. That's why I knocked the hell out of him.
Oh wow!
Like I'm from the streets. If we fighting. I'm not gonna fuck you up, but there's gonna be contact because you don't know who's in the crowd. You want to make this shit legitimate. So I told him back, said, dude, make contact. Like he gave me a knee, didn't hit me. I had to sell for it. Gave me an insecurity, didn't hit me. I was like, all right, motherfucker, I'm gonna hit you for real, and hopefully you want to hit me back. That was my point. I was trying to fire him up. I wasn't trying to hurt him. I was trying to wake him up like, motherfucker, hit me because there's people in the crowd, and he didn't get it. So we had 10 minutes. I took home with 5 because you're not gonna make a fool of me in the ring. That's what I did.
Right. I mean, to be honest with you, that was the professional thing to do. If he didn't want to, that proves that kind of. And I don't know the guy. I don't. So me saying this, I could be way wrong. But just hearing that story made me think that somewhere in his training he wasn't trained properly. You know what I mean?
Well, he trained with me since he got excited and he just wasn't listening. He was like, I need to get all my shit. I'm like, dude. Here's the thing: if you want to be a worker, I'm a heel or baby.
He wanted to be a spot monkey.
You want to be a spot monkey, but you know what? This is what I do. I get people over. Let's fucking have fun, and I'll get you over because I'm a good heel. You don't need to fucking do Canadian destroys. Fuck that shit. You're trying to stand out, not be another statistic in the ring. So like he got too excited and he was trying to call these spots. I'm like, dude, relax. I'll let you get your spots, but let me put it together for you so it makes some fucking sense. And I remember he tried to give me a power driver, and I just clocked him in his shit. I'm like, no. Like, fucking listen to me, man. You've been in the game 3 years. I've been here almost
the match, but he was trying to dictate it. Is that what was going on?
Trying to control the tempo. That's why I gave him a big ass fucking DDT, a big ass right hook, and I put him in a shoot Fuji armbar because you're not gonna make a fucking fool out of me with Ron Simmons and Pope in the back. Nobody wanted to work. Nobody wanted to work that motherfucker, but I was like, I'll work him. And I'm like, you know what? I should have fucked his ass up some more because we got in the back, and Pope's like, Irv, you did the best you could, Daddy. You did it. I'm like, oh man, it was shit. And then Ron Simmons was in the corner like, I saw you trying to work with the kid. He wasn't working, man. You'll be all right. I was pissed. Jake got to the back, pissed down his thigh, nose was busted. He's like, what did I do wrong?
When Ron Simmons sees it, you know it was obvious. I'm just saying, Ron Simmons is a legend. If he looked out there and said, yeah, I could tell this kid was – how did everybody else not see it? You know what I'm saying?
They saw it, but as soon as he got to the back, they were all crying. Mo was shaking his head. And I said, sit the fuck down. We got to talk. He's like, in front of him, like, yeah. I'm like, look, I'm trying to teach you a lesson, man.
That's how you learn.
And Ron was like, as far as I'm concerned, Irv took it easy on you because if you'd done that with me and Bradshaw, you would have got fucked up worse. So I kind of took it. I took it easy on him.
Right, without a doubt. We got less than a minute left, Irvin. So tell everybody where they could find you if a promoter watches this, or if a fan wants to check out where you're going to be at in the near future, man. hit me up with some dates and where you're going to be. And, of course, promo your music, promo anything. This is your time, bro.
Well, as of right now, I do not have wrestling bookings because I've taken a sabbatical to focus on music.
Oh, that's right. You did tell me that. I'm sorry.
If you are inclined to booking me on the wrestling show, Irvin Legend 757gmail.com is my email. Moneyman Legend is my Twitter. Official Irvin Legend is my Instagram, and you can find me on Facebook as Irvin Legend. But it's the profile. It's not the one where I have the gold trunks and the jacket.
Right.
It is this current one right now when I have the purple and black trunks on. And for the promoter that was talking to me earlier, shoot me a DM because I get a lot of DMs. I need to, what I'm saying. So
right.
That's how you can reach me.
Good deal, man. I love it, man. I love when you come on Hashtag Truth. You can come back anytime you want, man, because I love talking. You give it straight to me, and I love hearing your stories, man. I love, everything about our interviews. It's just I don't have to pull anything out of you. I don't even have to work. You made this interview so easy for me that I'm actually going to go off and do something else. Usually after Hashtag Truth, I'm ready to go in there, relax, sit down. I've worked, but shoot, it's not even work when I interview you, bro.
Dude, I got road stories. I got more stories. I got stories for days. So we'll do like a part 3 or something.
Sounds good, man. That sounds good. I want to get you on this 5-time club up here at some point.
Okay.
We're gonna work on that.
I forgot to announce. It isn't. I want to actually start hosting my own podcast or be a co-host. So if anybody is in need of a co-host, DM me.
Hey, if you ever put an announcement like that or make a little poster or whatever, shoot it to my page, man. I will share it all over the place. I'll help you out in that. I believe in you, man. And if you're going to do a podcast, I know it'll be a good one.
Yes, sir.
Without a doubt. I will definitely do that. Well, man, Irvin, I love it, man. Our hour's up, though. I appreciate you coming by and telling us your story. And I know you got way more to tell. So, like I said, come back anytime you want. And you've got an open invitation anytime you want to pick up your phone, DM me and say, hey, man, I'll be available this night. I don't care who's on. I'll drop them. I ain't going to lie to you. I'll drop them to talk to you, man.
We'll get that. We'll get another one popping, bro.
All right, man. Well, good luck in the future. I will definitely keep checking out your page and what you got going on. And please do me a favor and send me a quick DM when you get back in the ring because I want to look for your stuff, man. And merchandise. Do you have merchandise or anywhere we can get it? Because I want a shirt. I'm
in the process of creating a design and coming with some colors, but I will promise you guys I'll have a shirt before the year's over.
Okay. Hit me up with that too. I'll be one of your first customers. The music and a shirt. I want to be one of your first customers.
Sounds good, brother. We'll make it happen.
All right, man. Just like that, man. Irvin Legend, Hashtag Truth. Let me tell you, there's not a truer guy in the business. He tells it like it is, and I love having him on the show, and he'll be back as many times as he wants. And that is the Hashtag Truth. We'll see you guys Monday night. Irvin, you have a great night, man.
Thanks, bro. You too.
All right. We'll see you guys Monday.